Hey folks, Copter here. How you going? This is my first video ever, and I'm doing it because it's the end of the first full season after the Grand Tournament cards were released. What I'm going to do today is try and show you how I play the new type of deck that we're all seeing this season, and that's the Dragon Priest deck. I noticed that there's, and I'm sure everyone else has noticed too, that there's two really common decks getting around now in the meta, and those are the Dragon Priest and the Secret Paladin decks, both of which are really annoying if you've never come up against them and you see them for the first time. So I'm just going to explain my Dragon Priest deck. It's a little different to everyone else's Dragon Priest decks. I mean, it's not completely unique, obviously, because no decks really are. But what you can see here are the cards that I use. I've got 10 spells and 20 minions. The spells I use are Power Word Shield. I've got 2 of them, 1 Shadow Word Pain, and 2 Shadow Word Deaths. I think that the Shadow Word Pain, you only really need 1 because you can pretty much clear the smaller minions at the start a lot easier than you can the bigger minions, so having 2 Deaths instead of the 2 Pains is probably more important. 2 Velen's Chosens, it's a good buff card. Holy Nova obviously for the clearance, and Light Bomb for the clearance. I only have 1 Light Bomb, and that's more out of necessity than anything else. I really only actually own 1 Light Bomb. I could probably craft one, but at the moment I'm working with 1 and it seems to be working for me anyway. The rest of my cards, obviously you can see I've got Nausea Clerics, that's a must-have in pretty much every priest deck. Twilight Whelps, this is a Dragon Priest deck, and that's probably the better, one of the better class-specific dragon cards, because it's, it's the equivalent of if you're holding a dragon, a Zombie Chow. It's 1 cost and there's no real drawback. Zombie Chow gives everyone 5 health, gives the opponent 5 health. This one doesn't really have a drawback like that. Wilderness Agents, a really good class-specific card. It's a pain in the ass for your opponent to try and get rid of, because it's a 2/4. Once you've got a dragon, you wouldn't really throw it out without that. Probably the most popular card to come out of the TGT for dragon decks is obviously the Twilight Guardian. It becomes a 3/6 if you're holding a dragon with taunt, so it's a big pain in the ass for the opponent to get rid of. Chillmore, that's one that you don't see in many dragon priest decks. I'd throw it in mine because I actually don't have Vol'jin, which is more common in priest decks, dragon priest decks that I've come across. And I don't have Vol'jin, so I threw in Chillmore, and it's a big dragon anyway, so it increases my chances of having a dragon in my hand to set off things like Blackwind and the Twilight Guardian and Whelp. I have Confessor Palestress. That card and Chillmore and Light Bomb, they're probably the 3 cards you don't see in many Dragon Priest decks. Most Dragon Priest decks run a couple of Dark Cultists and the Vol'jin as well, so mine's a little bit different than that. So I'm just going to explain how I play it and why I play it. The good synergy cards are obviously, you find this in most priest decks, so the Cabal Shadow Priests and the Shrinkmeisters, they work really well together to steal full cost minions. And if you're coming up against another priest deck, stealing your Ysera is probably the ultimate goal. That's happened a few times for me. And obviously, I've got 1 Dragonkin in there, and he works really well with the buff cards because obviously they buff him, but he also gets the second buff from his own ability. And obviously, since it's a dragon deck, the whole thing works pretty well with synergy. So they work well with each other, the cards. So I'm going to go into a ranked game. Some of you guys might be sitting there going, why am I taking advice about a Dragon Priest deck from someone who's only rank 6? Well, if that's the case, you don't have to watch the video. This is for people that were languishing like I was last month in the, in up around like the rank 12 to 11. If you just want to try and push for a higher rank, I've been as high as rank 5 this season, which isn't massive, obviously. There are thousands of legends out there, but I'm an amateur player. I've only been playing for about 3 months. Anyway, so what I've got here, basically, this is a kind of a good start for me. I won't bother with the Power Word Shield, even though it's a low cost minion, but I will keep the Twilight Whelp because coming against our Hunter can be a real pain in the ass, and having a minion out early, like a Twilight Whelp, that one that I can keep healing, and that's kind of perfect too with the Nausea Cleric. What I would have really liked with this kind of aggro matchup would have been probably the Wormrest Agent. That's a really good card to pick up. Obviously, I'm not going to throw out the Twilight Whelp because
Is someone injured?
I don't have a dragon to actually give it its second bit of health, so the Nausea Cleric will do, and whatever he brings out now, I can probably ping it and get the free card.
Put this apple on your head.
Otherwise, this is basically why I kept the Shadow Word Pain in my hand. Aggro decks, a lot of them run the Knife Juggler,
Right away.
and it's not something I can throw my Nausea Cleric at because I'll lose that, so it's obviously pretty obvious to you. The difference between playing a deck like control deck or an aggro deck is you basically want to keep the cards for the curve if you're playing against a control deck, whereas with an aggro deck like this you basically want to keep cards in your hand like Wormrest Agent, or mull for cards like Wormrest Agent. Obviously get rid of your high cost cards, but try and keep some low cost cards for the start against your control decks. But for aggro, Twilight Whelps and Wormrest Agents are absolutely perfect, and he's probably going to get frustrated. Since TGT, you see a few hunters using the Bear Trap secret. Chances are, if he hasn't attacked with this one, it could be a Snake Trap or it could be a Freeze. I don't want to lose either of these two, so I might as well hit Leok with that and lose that to the Freeze Trap, because that's only a 1-cost card and I can get it back for 3 anyway. Another thing I was going to say is you don't want to buff one minion up and have it silenced or killed immediately. I'm not going to buff the Nausea Cleric because then I have to hit twice. So I might buff the Wormrest anyway, just so I can take it down. If you buff one card specifically, or just one of your minions, as opposed to buffing across the board and trying to get all your minions to be a threat, chances are they're going to try and silence or destroy that one big minion you've just buffed completely and just completely waste all the work you've put in. If this is a freeze trap, I'm happy to lose Nausea and bring it straight back out. Because it's only a 3 cost, so I might as well get the card draw from that. I've got another Wormrest Agent. This, I mean, the Hunter's running out of cards already, so this might be a pretty quick game, but it's probably not going to change too drastically. Even with 6 mana, he's probably running some high mains. But with Light Bomb and my Shadow Words in there, it's not really going to be a huge issue for me. So I can try and, get rid of the Piloted Shredder or the Mad Scientist, which is probably a decent idea, and I could shrink most of that to take less damage for the Wormrest Agent, which is probably a good idea. But at the same time, he's not throwing anything at me, so I might just play my Sewer Drake and see what I get. And just keep hitting face, because he's got to really take the initiative now and start attacking me. He's probably going to throw both of these things at the Wormrest Agent next hand anyway. But at least with this Azure Drake, if I pull a Holy Nova and he doesn't throw anything at me, I can take down all of his minions with the Holy Nova. And otherwise, there's not really much he can do from this position. I'm short of throwing out a quick shot. but even still, and I still have 2 big minions out. He might bring out Dr. Boom, but the Light Bomb will take care of Dr. Boom. There it is, right on time. So I didn't get Holy Nova, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But you'll notice that all my minions have lower attacks than they do health. So Light Bomb is probably the best option for me right now, just to make sure that I at least keep some minions on the board. And then I still have the option of bringing out Wormrest Agent if I lose one or the other. But chances are the bombs, I'm going to lose the Azure Drake, but this is almost a certain way to make sure that I win the game. And I'm sure a lot of pros will tell me that I misplayed that, but I'm fairly confident that the Hunter's got nowhere else to go. Even if he brings out a Savannah high main, it's not going to help him out too much at the moment. That's another card you see a lot of in the new meta, is the Ram Wrangler. I really don't know why. It's really completely random. It's not something that I would be running in a Hunter deck, but a lot of people do play it. It's completely random. You just saw he got a big truckload of nothing from that. The Boar, which is just a 1/1 with charge, not really going to do anything. Interesting to see what he gets from this one. So Savannah High Main, that's not that big of a deal for me. And all I really need is a good buff card. Alternatively, I can end the game now, obviously. That's not the kind of way I usually finish a game. That was a lot easier. But aggro Hunter decks are a really good matchup for Dragon Priests because of the the low cost taunt minions you get. And that's why I throw Chillmore in there as well, because even if you do get behind really quickly with an aggro deck, Chillmore can bring it back for you. A lot of people don't run Chillmore, like I said earlier, but I do, and it's just a good way to keep really good control of the board, and that's kind of what you need with the Dragon Priest deck. So if you enjoyed this video, or if you found it useful, it'd be good if you could give me a like or a thumbs up. Yeah, thanks for watching.